Hey there, welcome back. I'm Michelle. Thanks so much for being here. Today's reading is a look ahead at what you can expect this week, starting from whenever you're watching this. So if you're new to these readings, I've pulled out 3 cards that you can choose from. You can choose the card that you're feeling most drawn to, and then check the description for timestamps so that you can jump ahead to your reading. So before you do that, let's have a look at the 3 cards. So card 1 is Pillar of Light. And the message says, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Card number 2 is Transformation. And the message says, things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. And card 3 is Awakening. And the message says, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Okay. So take a moment to feel into which card you're being most drawn to. It might be the word or the color or the image on the card. Just go with your gut feeling. If you are being drawn to more than one card, that's okay as well. Feel free to watch whichever ones you're being called to watch. Sometimes there are additional messages meant for you within that reading. So before we get started, just a reminder that because this is a general reading, not every message will resonate with you, so please use your intuition to guide you. You'll know if something is meant for you because it will feel like a nod from the universe or from your higher self, or like a confirmation to something you've already been feeling. Finally, if you enjoyed this reading, I would love if you gave this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing so that I can continue to make more readings for you. Okay, I think that's everything. So when you're ready, you can find the timestamps in the description box and head over to your reading, and I will see you there. Hello and welcome to everyone who chose card number 1. So your card was this Pillar of Light card. And again, the message on this card is your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So to me, this sounds like you are going through a time of personal growth where you are learning to trust yourself, becoming more in tune with your own needs, what you truly desire, maybe becoming more confident in who you are as well. So let's have a look at your tarot cards for this week. Okay, starting with this tea leaf card, we have wind chimes, peace, and harmony. So it could be a peaceful week for you, a relaxed week for you, but I also feel like maybe you are craving some peace and harmony. Maybe things haven't been particularly peaceful for you lately. It's been a little bit maybe chaotic or overwhelming, especially if you've been going through some changes. So maybe you're craving some peace and harmony this week. Okay, let's start with the tarot cards. And we have the 6 of Pentacles, the Justice card, the 5 of Wands, and the Emperor. Okay, so we do have some big energy this week with the Justice and the Emperor card. Some of you might be dealing with some legal issues. I think that's just a small, select few of you. I think for a lot of you, this Justice card is probably talking about balance. It could be talking about karma, so it could be talking about something that is coming back around, maybe with the 6 of Pentacles here, which also is kind of about balance, about giving and receiving. Perhaps you've been giving and not receiving a lot. Like perhaps you've been putting in a lot of time and effort towards something, or you've been very generous with someone and you haven't been receiving that back. So again, we have this peace and harmony here. 6 of Pentacles and Justice is telling me that right now in your life, you're at a point where you are trying to regain balance in your life. I do feel like things have maybe been a little bit overwhelming within the last little while because we have the 5 of Wands. That is about competition, it's about striving, it's about trying to work your way up through something. Perhaps it's really difficult to stand out at work, or you've been applying for jobs and there's a lot of competition. Some of you might also be trying to build a business because we have the Emperor card here. So that could be about trying to build an empire for yourself, trying to build a business. It could be about your career as well. So just trying to really build that strong, solid career for yourself. This is really strategic, logical energy. So I feel like some of you might be really kind of going after something that you want And that might have been a little bit overwhelming. So I feel like, yes, some of you are seeking some balance, some peace, some harmony this week after all the hard work that you've been putting into things. So I feel like with the Six of Pentacles card, if you do feel like you've been giving more than you've received, check in with yourself, do some reflecting to see if there might be some boundaries that you need to put in place. And also if maybe you haven't been open to receiving, because sometimes I think we can see receiving as a weakness and we feel like we should be able to do everything ourselves and we should be able to, support ourselves and build things on our own. So just check in with yourself to see if there's an area where maybe you just haven't been receiving because you haven't been open to it. And is there somewhere that in your life where you could use some support, and how could you get that support in order to help you continue forward and continue building your empire or your legacy or your career without depleting yourself so much? I also feel with the Justice card that some of you might be dealing with internal stuff, like maybe you've been judging yourself really harshly for not being further along in your career or for something else that you've done in the past. So it might be important to, again, reflect on whether you're being too critical or too harsh on yourself. Can you show yourself a little bit of love and compassion the way that you would for somebody else? Because again, I do feel like you are becoming more intuitive. You're becoming more in tune with yourself, with your own needs. As we had this, you are the Oracle card at the beginning. So you are strengthening that part of yourself. And with that, sometimes we have to face parts of ourselves that we realize aren't as loving as we should be towards ourselves. Let's have a look at a few more cards here. Okay, so we have the Confidence card. So I feel like this is a little nod from your guides or from your higher self to be confident in whatever it is that you are pursuing. I do feel like you're working towards something or you're pursuing something. You have some sort of goal. It might be quite challenging right now. Like I said, there might be a lot of competition. It might be a lot of hard work. So be confident in yourself that you have what it takes and you have the ability to create this for yourself. Lighten your load. That is not a surprise after what we've been talking about. So yeah, some of you might be feeling overwhelmed. Some of you might have a lot on your plate. You've been working really hard. You have a lot of ideas that you want to implement. You have a lot of plans for the future. So just see if there's a way that you can do it in a more balanced way. Is there something that you can take off your plate by receiving help from someone else? You don't have to do it all on your own. And just because you have these really big dreams and big goals does not mean that you have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. So where can you lighten things up this week so that you don't end up feeling completely depleted? Okay, we also have Groundhog Spirit, time to let go. I feel like this is, again, a really similar message here, and that there might be something that you're holding on to. You can see the groundhog in this picture is really holding on to this little heart tightly. So is there something that you're holding on to that maybe deep down you know it's time to let go of? And this could be a job. It could be something that you're providing for someone else, maybe like a volunteer position or some kind of support that you've been providing someone that you've been doing for a long time and you feel bad about giving it up, but it might be time for you to move on. So again, just take some time to reflect on whether or not there's something that you need to let go of, something about yourself, maybe a habit, or something that you've been providing for someone else, that it's time to just make that shift and lighten your load and let this go. Could be just, the busyness in your schedule as well. And our last card says conclusions are within reach. Okay, so if you are confused about some of that, like maybe there are some things that you are trying to move forward with while also balancing everything else in your life, just know that the more in tune you get with yourself and who you truly are and what your higher self and your soul desires for you and for your life, the more in tune you become with that, the easier it's going to be to have discernment about the things in your life and what things are important and what things are not, and what things you need to put your focus and attention on and what things you can actually let go. So I don't feel like this is something, again, that's going to be wrapped up in a week. These are some major themes in your life right now that you are going through over the next little while. it's something to continue working on, to continue, reflecting on, and to continue making tweaks in your life as you go, as you're pursuing these things that are important to you, that you're taking that time to stop and reflect on your life and see what things might be out of balance and where there might need to be some shifts so that you can experience a little bit more peace and harmony in your life. So group 1, that is what I have for you this week. I hope that you found it helpful. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being here as always, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye. Hello and welcome to everyone who chose card number 2, which was this transformation card. So if you chose this card, I imagine that you are going through a period of transformation in yourself, some personal growth, some things changing in your life. The message on this card again was things are changing at a cellular level and deep healing. So it could be that some of you have experienced something recently that has required some healing. So something happening to you or to someone that you love, or something in your life that has come in to shake things up a bit, something that has required some healing in your life. Whereas for others, you might be actually just doing some inner healing around things that have just built up over your life. We all have different experiences that affect us in a deep way as we go through life. And so for some of you, you might be just doing this inner work that is bringing stuff up and that is causing you to go inward and get some of that healing that you need right now in your life. I do feel like this is something fairly significant for you. So some sort of, personal transformation that is going to shift your life, that is going to be an important part of your life, an important part of your path and your purpose. So it is big stuff happening to you right now, group 2. Let's have a look at your cards. So let's start with our tea leaf card. Okay, we have target, a goal-oriented person. Okay, so this could be speaking about you. If you have your mind set on some big goals or you're trying to accomplish something in your life, this could also speak about someone coming into your life who is a very goal-oriented person, who has a lot of that energy of striving for something, very, motivated, that kind of thing. So it could be someone coming into your life as well. Okay, let's have a look at your tarot cards first. Okay, we have the 9 of Cups. Beautiful. So that is all about your wishes being fulfilled, all about joy and abundance and being really happy, having something happen that is going to bring you a lot of joy in your life. So let's see what else we have. The Emperor. So again, some strong energy here of building an empire, being like a natural born leader. Perhaps this is speaking about this goal-oriented person that's coming into your life. So this could be your energy or the energy of someone else that's coming into your life. We have the Fool. Let's just have a look at the last card, and the King of Wands. Okay, lots of strong energy here. I'm not surprised because, like I mentioned at the beginning with the transformation card, I do feel like that is quite big energy to begin with that you're going through right now. Not necessarily just this week. I feel like this is an ongoing thing for you. This is like the phase that you are in right now in your life. The Fool card, we have something brand new starting. So with both the Emperor and the King of Wands, I do feel like someone else might be coming into your life that or already has come into your life that is having an effect on your life. This could be just your energy, the energy that you are starting to embrace within yourself, or the energy that you need to embrace, because I think some of you might be starting a new chapter. Some of you might be starting a new business with, both the King of Wands and the Emperor cards can definitely lend that, entrepreneurial energy. So some of you might be starting a new business or starting to freelance or step out on your own in some way. But yeah, it definitely could be a person coming into your life as well that has those characteristics and that energy. But there is a lot of energy around fresh starts here. There's a lot of energy around having a goal or wanting to build something. Could be building a home, could be building a career, could be building a business. But there's definitely that energy of wanting to create something, of a fresh start, and of having a lot of focus and dedication towards this thing. There's a lot of energy behind it. The King of Wands has a strong vision. He's a big thinker. He's a leader. He's not afraid to go for whatever it is that he wants. And really the Emperor too. The Emperor is very strategic. He's very logical. He's able to make decisions from that more logical, strategic perspective. So I would not be surprised if some of you are definitely starting businesses. Either you've already started or you're thinking about starting it, because we do have the Fool, so I feel like it's still in the very early phases for you. Now, with the wishes fulfilled, this could be tied to some of this energy. Some of you might have won some money or got some sort of gift that has enabled you to move forward with some of this. Some of you have maybe had some sort of good news that has allowed you to move forward with this, or it could be two separate things. Like you might get some news about, something exciting happening in your life, and that might be separate from this energy over here with the Emperor, the Fool, and the King of Wands. Let's have a look at our Oracle cards too, just to get a clearer picture of this. Okay, interesting. We have the Death card. And as many of you know, the Death card in Tarot speaks to transformation. And then, of course, you have the Transformation card. So I definitely, again, feel like this is an acknowledgement of the change and transformation that you're currently going through in your life. Some of you might have experienced a loss in your life as well, whether it's, a person that was important to you that you've lost recently, or it could be a different kind of loss, like losing your job or losing your home or having to move, or, something that has affected you in a really deep way. So I just want to acknowledge that in case that is the case for some of you, especially with this deep healing that we had here. So it could definitely be some sort of loss that has triggered this healing and triggered this change that is happening in your life right now. Let's see what else we have. Okay, and we have the Grieving card, so that does make sense. So I do think that, for some of you, you have absolutely been through a challenging time. You've lost something or someone that was important to you. This has sparked some of that change within you. It's maybe caused you to reflect on your life. It's maybe caused you to rethink certain things in your life. We have the butterfly here. So again, that's a symbol of transformation. So whatever this is, it has caused a lot of internal change, internal reflection, and internal growth in your life. So I do feel like that is an acknowledgement from your higher self, from your guides, from the universe, just to let you know that they see everything that you've been going through, and to acknowledge any pain that you've had to endure and any difficult times that you've had to endure, and maybe, give you that little sign that positive things are coming for you and a positive change is ahead. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, Scarab Beetle Spirit, magic works through you. Absolutely, and this is right underneath the Fool card. So I definitely feel like there's an element of magic in whatever it is that you're creating, almost like there's been some divine intervention here that has led you down this path, and it's been like a really strong calling within you to move forward with this. So again, a little acknowledgement here that whatever it is that you're considering, this new goal that you have, or this new adventure that you're taking, or this new endeavor, that is being divinely guided, that is kind of coming from your higher self or from your soul's desires to do something. Let's have a look at our last card. Okay, it says a time for healing. So that's not a surprise at all. Group 2, I feel like you have a lot going on emotionally, but then also a lot going on in your life. Now, like I said, it might be the very beginning stages of this. So it could be just an idea right now, and that it's something you're thinking of pursuing. You might have some help coming in to help you do this. So again, depending on where you are in your journey, take this message and allow it to, resonate for you in whatever way makes sense. Because I do feel like there's a lot of confirmations here from your higher self or your guides to help you know that you're going in the right direction, to acknowledge everything that you've been through, and to let you know that there is support there for you, and that things are shifting, things are healing, to really let you know about this powerful transformation that is happening within you, and that it is an important part of your path and your purpose here. So hopefully this makes sense to you and you can apply it in your own life. So group 2, that is what I have for you. Very powerful reading. I am wishing you all the best, sending you lots of hugs. And I want to thank you very much for being here with me as always. I hope to see you soon in another reading. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. Hello and welcome to everyone who chose card number 3. So your card was the Awakening card. And the message on this card again says, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So I feel like if you are attracted to this card, you are likely going through some sort of awakening. You feel like you are changing internally. You feel like you're growing internally. I also feel like some of you are at a place where you're lacking clarity about what to do with this. So when you are going through this process, all of a sudden, sometimes some of the things that used to be really important to you are not as important. There might be things that are kind of fading away from your life and new things coming in. And I feel like some of you are just lacking clarity around what direction to go, or what to do now that you feel differently about things in your life, or now that you've changed and you are still changing. So let's have a look at what your tarot cards say. Actually, let's start with this tea leaf card. And it says, leg, stepping into a new experience. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. Some of you are absolutely doing new things. And I think not just doing new things, but becoming a new person in some ways. Like there's pieces of you that are falling away and new pieces emerging. And I feel like you are stepping into that higher version of yourself. So who you really are at your core, you're getting to know that person. You're getting to know what you want to experience and what you want to do with your life a little bit more than perhaps before. Although, like I said, I feel like this isn't quite clear for you yet. Okay, let's start with your tarot cards. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the World, and the Two of Swords. Okay, so we do have some really beautiful energy here. Now, the Two of Swords is a little bit challenging, and I'm not surprised because I was talking about still having a lack of clarity. The Two of Swords speaks to, trying to make a decision about two different things or two different paths, and feeling like there's not necessarily a winning choice here. So it might feel like, like a lose-lose situation in some ways, or you might feel like you just don't have the information or the clarity that you need to make this decision yet. And yeah, you're feeling called to make a decision, like you're feeling called to action, you're feeling called to do something or shift things or change things, but you're not clear on what that is or how to do it or any of that. So some mental struggle with that this week. And probably not just this week. I feel like this is something, again, that's been ongoing for a little bit, and you're feeling more and more called to action, but you're not quite sure what that action should look like. Now, with the rest of the cards here, we have a really beautiful energy. With the Ace of Cups, that could be a new relationship coming into your life. It could also speak to self-love. So you might be learning to love parts of yourself that maybe you've kept hidden away, or maybe that used to bother you, or used to feel like ashamed of those parts of you. And I feel like some of you are learning to embrace that, to have more self-love, some more self-compassion. But yeah, some of you are absolutely perhaps going to meet somebody new. That could be a really beautiful relationship. It could be a friendship, it could be a romantic relationship. So lots of, loving energy coming in towards the start of this week. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles has beautiful energy. She is so calm and serene and really grounded. She really knows who she is. And so I feel like this is the energy that you are working on embracing right now. Like being really comfortable in your own skin, really embracing all parts of yourself, learning how to love yourself, learning how to be really grounded and at peace in your life. And of course, I always notice in this picture all of the nature around her. So nature can be really healing. If you can spend some time in nature this week, I think that would be great for you, whether it's just going for a walk or taking a little road trip if you can to, maybe go on a hike or go out to the lake or, go to the beach or something like that. I feel like nature would be really healing for you and helpful in terms of clearing your mind and maybe finding some of that clarity. And then next we have the World card, which again, beautiful energy. This is a major arcana card. It speaks to completions. So I feel like this is a little nod to everything that you've been going through, everything that you've accomplished so far. to really celebrate how far you've come in your life, to celebrate everything that it has taken to get you to this point. So make sure that you show yourself some gratitude for all of that time and energy and effort that you've put into your life and into yourself and into your personal growth to get you to this point. Now, some of you might also be doing some traveling or maybe planning a trip. So again, a little nod from the universe there if that's something that you're considering. But I also feel like this is not just necessarily traveling the world, but experiencing the world in a new way and finishing one chapter of your life, starting a new chapter, and being ready for that new adventure or that new, exploration or journey in your life. Let's have a look at your oracle cards. Okay, we have rejection. And since this is right under the Ace of Cups, I feel like for some of you, this is an acknowledgement that maybe you've had some relationships that you've felt rejected. So maybe you've had a relationship recently where you felt like you were rejected, and that might have really hurt you and had, an effect on you and the way you feel about yourself. I feel for some of you, this rejection is actually rejection of yourself. So some of you might be, again, going through that process that I talked about where you are learning to embrace the parts of you that maybe you've been ashamed of or that you haven't wanted to show people in the past. You're learning to embrace all parts of you. So a little nod to not reject any parts of yourself, that all of those pieces make you whole and make you who you are. And again, with this Ace of Cups here, and I don't know if you can see, but there's like a heart in her cup. So I feel like showing yourself love for whatever kind of rejection that you've recently gone through, whether it was from somebody else or from yourself, to allow that healing to take place. Let's see what else we have. Clarity. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you are definitely searching for clarity right now. That clarity is maybe not coming to you as quickly as you would like. And with this being under the Queen of Pentacles, and look at all this green around here. I'm not sure if that's actually trees or not. It's a little bit hard to tell. But it feels like nature. And so I'm just getting that message to get out in nature, to get grounded, to, breathe that fresh air, to remove yourself from your current situation. So if you've been working really hard, let's say, and you've been in an office or at a desk or something like that, remove yourself from that situation if you can this week, or at least in the coming weeks, try to make a plan for that. But it doesn't have to be anything big. Like just going for a walk can be really helpful. But I think if you can plan some sort of outing or a little mini road trip or adventure where you can get out in nature a little bit more, I think that's going to be really helpful. I feel like that grounding energy, that peaceful, calm energy that you get when you're outside, that's really going to help with clarity. And I feel like you need to stop thinking about it, because you can only think about things so much, and thinking about it doesn't always lead you to the answer. Sometimes we get those answers when we least expect it, when we're just, going for a walk or having a shower or out in our garden or whatever. You're doing something completely unrelated, and all of a sudden you feel this download that helps you understand your situation and helps you know what direction to go next. So pay attention to that. Try to put yourself in these situations where you're not constantly, stressed out or thinking about these decisions or what you need to do next. Try to just go out and enjoy life and see if you can find some peace with where you're at right now and this part of the journey, knowing that clarity is on the way for you. Okay, what else do we have here? Dolphin spirit. This and that are true. Interesting. So this card is making me feel like perhaps, some of the thoughts that you've been having are conflicting thoughts, or you're having a hard time because you feel like, this direction might feel good, but then, maybe there's some pros and cons to that. And this direction might also be a good option, but there's pros and cons to that, or maybe none of them feel good to you. And I feel like this card is saying all of that is true, but it's sort of what you make of it. Like, I often feel like we can have several paths that would all work out for us, or that would all be good for us. And that if we just make a choice and go forward, that helps us to navigate our path and helps us to narrow things down, because then we know whether or not that actually works for us and we can make some adjustments. So I feel like there's an element here of needing to make a choice, even if it doesn't feel totally clear, or even if two options feel like they could both work, or maybe they both don't feel that great. But being able to kind of move forward a little bit, step out of that situation that you're in, and that's going to help you find that clarity. Let's see what else we have for our final card. It's time to take action. Okay, so I was just talking about taking action. This is something I say in readings a lot because I think it's so true that we will never feel 100% certain of what step to take. Often we're always going to feel a little bit unclear until we actually take that step. So I feel like if you are completely lacking clarity, like I said, getting out in nature, removing yourself from the situation, I think that's going to help you just feel more peace. And when you feel more peace with your situation and you can kind of embrace where you're at, that's when you can hear that inner guidance. But that inner guidance isn't necessarily going to just give you, a 10-step action plan. It might just give you a little nudge in one direction or another. So follow those little nudges and then course correct. But without taking any action at all, you're going to stay stuck and you're not going to feel clear. So just take some time to reflect this week on how you can feel more peace and harmony in your life, what little steps you might have been already guided to take. How can you take those little steps? And don't be afraid to make the wrong choice, because you can always change your mind, or you can always, course correct once you've already taken some steps. But, and I keep saying steps, and we have stepping into a new experience here. So I feel like this whole message here is about embracing the journey, embracing where you're at right now, knowing that you are doing something new. And doing something new is always a little bit challenging in terms of clarity, because how can you know something's right for you if you've never done it, right? So it's really just kind of embracing this change and this awakening and this transformation that's happening for you right now, and being okay with not knowing all of the answers at the beginning. Learning to trust yourself, learning to trust the process and trust, the information that you're getting from your inner wisdom and from your higher self, and allowing that to guide you. So group 3, lots of stuff coming at you in the next little bit here. Looks like some really big changes happening in your life right now. Don't be afraid to take your time with it and embrace this new experience as much as possible. So that is what I have for you, group 3. I hope that you found this reading helpful. I'm sending you lots of luck with this new adventure. Thank you so much for being here as always, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye.